welcome back to Dungeons and Shenanigans. I'm your DM for the night. We have some phenomenal more RP in store for you. I hope you're ready for that. Anyway, these are our lovely players against the high lovely players.
High level players.
Thank you, lovely players. You guys are the best lovely
This is
players.
copyright.
Anyway, Miss Unintentional copyright claim. Hello. Please don't sue us, D20. So yes, that D20
Don't
right there.
sue us. Will it sue us? No.
Okay. Whew. We're good.
Mine's bigger.
Join our Discord.
Yeah.
A lot of pedantic shenanigans on there. Just for no reason. Just please join our server. We really want a community and want viewers like you. And if you'd like to support us, coffee. Just give us a cup of coffee. Go ahead and donate, and we'll do more of this. And anything that you give us goes right back to this. So thank you in advance, and with that, I think it's time to get back into tonight's episode of Dungeons and Shenanigans. Yes, exactly what you said. So where we last left off, you guys got to the Zenitian village. Zenitia village. As you were traveling there in this pitch black darkness, Vela fell through and failed the dexterity saving throw as a rogue. We're not going to talk about that, but a creature known as a Night Reaper picked her up and basically took her to where their destination was. They ended up going into the city and heading towards the manor in which Kella and his family are from. There, you guys ended up getting a little bit changed out of your equipment and kind of just being able to relax a bit before meeting with the king. You had a little game called...
What the shadow hell is that?
There it is. And you basically talked to each other, asking each other very personal questions, but there's still a lot of deep and looming questions still to be asked. As you guys were here doing this, attendant showed up and basically told Kella that the king is now ready for their audience. As you guys got up, Kella realized he got a little tipsy from this, but you know, he'll be fine. So did Daw and Lucky. So keep that in mind. And you guys are now starting to make your way towards the royal chambers of King Mystara. So, as you guys are starting to walk through there, is there anything you guys would like to ask anybody before you enter in?
So I'll lean into Kella.
Mm-hmm.
So this affliction your father has that's unsightly.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what it is?
You'll know when you see it.
Okay.
Okay.
But I thought we weren't supposed to look at it.
You'll still see it. And goes ahead and stands in front of the doors, and there's two guards there, and you see them look down and see him, and then one of the doors opens, and you see Arcturus standing there, opening the door. Hello. The king has expected you. Please. And he kind of presents forward. And you guys end up walking through, and it's this beautiful carpet that runs through the entire length of this chamber. And it's a very long chamber that leads to a throne. And this throne itself has these kind of like wing-like fixtures to the sides of it. And it's made out of that same kind of like weird stonework. But you do notice the hue of it is very reminiscent of spirit metal. and you look and see there's these extremely large pillars that look like ascending clouds just going up into a plume, and that line this chamber. About 8 of them, 4 on either side, that continue through this chamber. And then the rug that runs the entire length of it has this this sprawling cloud-like pattern into it, that's like grays, blues, and whites and purples, just intermingling with each other all the way up to the throne. And you see sitting there is a drow, hair in this like large braid that's just kind of like drifting off of one shoulder, and you end up seeing he has this this very light armor on. It looks like it's just mainly like for show almost. He does have what looks like this like cloak that's attached to the pauldrons of this armor that drapes down, that has that same cloud-like material or pattern on the material. And you see him sitting there looking kind of appeased, and you do see he has a scepter that's kind of leaning up against his throne, that's kind of like in this little crook that's holding it. And the scepter itself looks like it's like a crescent moon like that, and then another one that overlaps the other. And in the center you see that there's just this little gemstone just floating in this space in between the two of them. Please, come over. My darling son. And you see he sits up and starts to walk over towards Kella. He goes, "Hi, Dad." You see he embraces him and just like kisses the side of his cheek and just goes, "It's good to have you back. You too, Amanda. I'm glad you all didn't die." And you just hear, "What about me?" "Sure, you too, Seamuson. Please, come in." And he like presents his hand towards like this like table that's set up off to the side. And you see he goes ahead and walks over that, and as he's walking you just see his hand wave like this, and the scepter floats with him alongside of him as he goes ahead and walks towards one of the chairs, and an attendant pulls the chair out for him, and he sits down and it gets pushed forward, and the scepter just still kind of like floating and just barely drifting, rotating next to him in his chair. Please sit. Dinner will be prepared.
So I do a very low bow, like I was told, and Your Majesty, it is an honor to be in your presence.
Likewise.
You don't look as hideous as I would have expected with the warnings that I was given, but you look well.
Right.
No afflictions.
He goes ahead and looks over towards Kella and Amanda, and you see Amanda's just going, just trying to hold it in. And he goes, "Apology accepted. Thank you. Thank you for your concern."
Yeah.
Very handsome.
Thank you. Please sit. This is very informal. I don't want really many formalities here. And you are starting to, and now that you're getting a better look at him, you see he has this crown affixed to his head. Not like affixed, like bolted in, but like just resting on his head. And it is made of spirit metal. And the crowns themselves, it kind of goes up and then makes this crescent moon shape at each one of the spires. So it almost makes this like sea-like formation above all of this. And you see it's inlaid with all kinds of different colored gemstones throughout. The crown itself has that gunmetal sheen to it that spirit metal has, but you do see that it has like a little bit of gold flecks in it. Please sit. I'm assuming everybody sits.
Yeah. Yep.
And then everybody sits down and he goes, "Oh, another chair, please." And you guys look over as you guys all have chairs, and you see Seamus with his arms crossed.
Is it a high chair?
Oh, they bring out a very small, like, stool-like chair. He goes, "Thanks, Your Majesty." Goes ahead and sits down.
Just an ottoman.
Yeah. So, my son told me a bit about your afflictions and your capabilities. Thank you all for arriving. After dinner, I do have plans for you to meet our Forge Master, Magnus Torkel. He comes from a long line of excellent Forge Masters that range back from the beginning inception of the Geislandian nation. They are Forge Masters are very elusive and very secretive to their craft. But even he crafted my spirit metal as well as my crown. He is someone I hold in very high regards and very high respect. So please do respect him as well.
Of course.
Now please, tell me about yourselves. What are all of your names?
Hello, my name is Cal.
Hello, Cal.
I am Daj Ron Rin.
Good to meet you. We don't really see much Luxodon out here.
No.
I've seen a few Minotaur in my time, but never a Luxodon.
We don't often venture underground.
I would imagine so. You're not exactly fit for tight spaces.
Not quite, no, but quite dexterous. There's some treacherous bridges around here, and
Yes, there are.
I'm able to navigate them quite well.
More than the most nimble.
Mm-hmm.
And you all, and then just, hi, Your Majesty, I'm Susie. Susie, pleasure.
She loves pink, as you can tell.
No, I don't.
Perfect.
Yep. Hi, I'm Rose.
So
Hello.
it's Daffodil.
It's Daffodil.
No, it's Rose.
Wait, I thought it was Lily.
That's her
no,
middle name.
it's Rose. Rose, pleasure. Then, hello. I'm Augustus Sinclair. Pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. And you? Looks to Lucky.
Yeah, my name is Lucky.
Lucky. Good to meet you. And you, little one?
My name's Fella.
Fella, good to meet you. Well, first off, I sense a great amount of the ancestral spirit's blessings upon you all. And there are aspects of you that I need more understanding of. And you, please, ask me any question that you may need additional information of. And as he's talking, he just goes, "Oh," and you watch attendants kind of walk up with these different trays and place down dinner platters, and they, and it's a really nice meal, very well balanced between meat and veggies, and it's just really delightful. It's definitely better than the rations that you guys have been trying to survive with for however long this trip has been, over 2 weeks. You see he goes ahead and takes out a napkin and just puts it on his lap. Now, you all experience some great effect from all of this aether generator, and begins cutting his food. I am very interested to know what you know about this. And you see he goes ahead and just waves his hand, and you just see appearing on the table is the core that Amanda and Ben had. And you see it just appear on the table, and then the napkin kind of unfolds around it. I'm very curious to know what you might know of this.
Well, this looks exactly like the generator.
And this generator was the core of it, correct?
Well, maybe. It looks similar to.
Who gazed upon this other than you?
From what I remember, the core did look like that, but the core was also like, it was like elastic. it kept like squishing and moving and spreading.
It was also way bigger, of course.
Yeah.
Well, this does seem to be a fragment of the whole. Um, spirit metal is very versatile. It's possible that if it was forged by a forge master, it had unique qualities to it that made it have elasticity and a amorphous form. But now that it has been shattered, it seems as though it still has some of its purpose remaining. We haven't really had much time to analyze it, but there is a great concern for whoever wields it. It can be a very, very powerful weapon, but also a very, very powerful way to die at the same time. Ben is a good example of this. I do trust that none of you have attempted nor will try to attempt anything with this.
I did touch it briefly,
Yes.
and it imbued me with more power than I'm used to.
Understood. It seems as though there are many spirits trapped within this, fractured. I don't know whether or not these spirits are spirits as in the living, as in the mortals, or spirits that have transcended and are now aether spirits, the ancestral spirits. I do not know whether they are either, but I do know that this is reeking of malice and evil.
Is our spirits capable of good and evil, or are they just...
Your core, the belief in what we believe, is that your very essence, your soul itself, is an ancestral spirit. It is a part of the flow. And your ebb and flow between decisions depends on you. Your aether spirit itself is neutral in nature, but the decisions you make bend it towards another path. We believe your soul is one with your actual self. Some believe that the aether soul is split, that there is your true essence soul and your aether soul, and one cannot live without the other. Truly. You cannot have your regular soul without your aether soul, and you cannot have your aether soul without your regular soul. There have been cases where people have overexerted and burnt out the light of aether and its grace with the ancestral spirits. And they come back broken. Not the same. Something about them different. I've had war buddies that have encountered similar experiences. But that is under extreme circumstances, and sometimes can even be a way to preserve your own life at the risk of severing your connection with the ancestral spirits.
Do you think the reason why you're seeing malice from the shard is because they're imprisoned?
It's quite possible.
Because I know that when something is imprisoned, they usually resort to malice to escape.
Make a persuasion or deception check. Your call.
It's going to be a 26.
He's not gonna pry further. He's clocked it, but not gonna pry further.
So you said this must have been created by a master forge master?
The core itself seems to be Forge Master make. I have not quite had Magnus take a look at it yet, but
Are there? You say that they're elusive, and do you know how many there are? How many of these masters are
No.
out there?
there are. When Aether first arrived, and our ancient peoples of these lands once discovered its potential and its power. Those people awakened their aether and were able to use it. They had capacity for it. And this was the era of the Nebfir, the giants. They once dwelled upon the surface. They were the first to discover its potential, its power, and share it with the rest. They spoke of an ancient relic that they had uncovered through unconventional means. And this relic was, they called it a spear. And it was only referred to as the spear. And that's what brought this flow of aether into the lives of everyone here on this continent. Forge masters started to pop up in that age. And there were a great many. But after the fall of the Nebfir, many of them went missing as well. Some in hiding, some slain, and some gone insane. Mad beyond belief. The Forge lineage that Magnus is part of, he is the fourth in line. They have long lived, and Magnus himself is very, very long lived. He has seen the fall of Geislandia and the rise of Etheria before he dwelled and traveled deep within the earth and found himself here.
So he's very aged.
Yes.
Ancient. I imagine, like any master art or craft building, usually there's some signature or some way that things are crafted that you can tell who made it.
I will say, the respect and regard that Magnus has is the way of a true forge master. Someone who respects his work as well as the spirits that he is influencing. But many of the quote-unquote forge masters that exist within Etheria are corrupt and take the normal and beautiful balance that is the forge technique and they besmirch its name. They corrupt it. They use unconventional means and ill intent when forging. So that level of respect of wanting to have your signature placed upon it, it's not always likely.
Do you think your forge master will be able to determine who made this particular shard and where it might have come from?
It's not outside the realm of possibility. Magnus is very old, even for a dwarf. I do not know as much as he does when it comes to the signatures and placements of the forge masters. The only forge master I have ever met has been Magnus. He has handled all of our forging since my grandfather's time.
Now, this shard, I know you haven't had a chance to examine it much, but is there, do you think, a possibility of setting the spirits free?
There is always a hope. Spirit metal that has been infused with the ancestral spirits and aether to a certain degree will hold onto it very tightly and end up producing its own effects naturally without having you to imbue its power into it further. So, for instance, if you had, say, Ben's sword, it's inert normally, whereas Amanda's swords are always active. She does not need to pour very much aether within it. Really, it's only her residual energy around her that powers them, because they've been imbued with spirits as well as her own essence so much that they now take on a permanent form. This core seems to be in a similar boat as that. This seems as though it is a device to trap and to contain, as well as to generate more of that same power.
It's unsettling that this small piece is so powerful and the generator itself was so much larger.
It is very unsettling.
Well, it blew up a whole port. That's how big it was.
Yes, and my condolences for yourselves to be trapped into the realm of the shadows.
I think of that as a blessing. It was a very good experience.
Enlightening, I wouldn't call it good.
Well, the gift we were given. That's what I mean.
And they spoke of a dagger, correct? That is what Kella told me.
Yeah. I would kind of bring the dagger up and kind of put it on the table.
Alright. You see he goes to, like, his hand is out, and as you put it on the table, he just moves his hand, and you watch as it just drifts up and flows towards him. He just grabs the dagger and starts to look at it. Well, it is old and damaged, but it can be reforged. And that's the hope with this core, this shard, is that it can be reforged. The spirits that are trapped within it are lost. They are fractured. If we release them, they will no longer be whole. They are fragmented. They are lost and long gone. They will never be their full selves again. But if they were harvested from people who manifested their own aether spirits, then they too are broken, and maybe even dead. So the best course of action would be to reforge this and see what comes from it. Use it as a tool to defend instead of a weapon to attack. And your dagger, and he's still looking at it, seems as though it was once a part of a whole. As he grips his hand around the hilt, you watch as it just this energy starts to flow into it, this green-like energy, and you see that he's channeling raw aether energy into it, and you see the blade start to elongate into the true form of what it once was. That green energy taking on the shape of what's missing as he's holding it up, and he kind of holds it forward into the light. Well, this is something for sure. Something this ancient, and he stops the channel and it. Something this ancient had a very powerful user originally. Somebody took great care of this blade before it was broken and tarnished. It'll serve you well, as he just opens his hand and it just drifts through the air and goes back onto the table where you placed it.
You have to put it away.
Well, do you have any questions for me?
What is your affinity?
My affinity is lightning. I only have the one element, but my element is quite strong and rare. The Mystara household and bloodline primarily is of lightning descent. There are a few of my children who have others, but primarily it's lightning.
Like daffodil over here.
Yes, I've sensed it. I can sense all of yours, really. We're not really good at hiding it yet, but we'll work on that. Now, the next question is a bit more business related. What use do I have of you here? We're a very welcoming community. We're very welcoming to newcomers and those who are called to be down here. But what are your intentions with our people and our practices?
Well, for me personally, ever since I got into this, I've sought to do what I did before, which is kind of help in the liberation of the spirits around the continent. So I'm hoping by increasing my power here with Aether, under guidance, so that I don't resort to any evil intentions, I can know how to do it in a good way. I can kind of do what Amanda does.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Good things with advantage. I got a 1 and an 18. Natural 1 and an 18 thing. So plus, and it's persuasion?
Persuasion.
Okay. That's going to be a 25. Wait, 26.
And
Got proficiency bonus.
what intentions do you have with our people?
My intentions are not with the people themselves, but of this planet. There has been a shift in the balance of nature and this new technology perverting these spirits into evil acts. And I was sent from my tribe to gain wisdom and power enough to help restore this balance. And much like Cal here, to restore this, to restore the balance and to release these spirits from their captivity.
Liberate.
Make a persuasion check.
13.
Okay. Bella?
I just want to learn to control it so that I don't hurt anyone on accident. That's all.
Make a persuasion check.
8.
8? Okay.
9.
Okay. And Lucky?
For me, it's, I want to help. I mean, I can't talk about everything you guys have going on down here, but everything up above is broken and dysfunctional and needs to be replaced.
What is it that you want to help?
I mean, I would love to say everyone, but I think I'm being honest with myself, it'd be helping out the people who can't help themselves.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
$24.
Nice.
Yeah. Dumb but charismatic.
And about your interest in our people and its cultures, as well as its craft, what are your intentions with spirit metal? How will you use such a heavy burden that has such a powerful and significant relevance to our society? Cal?
What you're asking what I would want to do with spirit metal.
What is your intention with it? Why do you seek it?
Well, I was hoping to not have a tool with it or an armor piece. I was hoping to embed it into my horns, because I was hoping that by doing so, I would, because these are something that are unique to me, and I'm hoping that I can empower the amount of spirits that I can hold within me until I can release them into a safer place. Kind of like a vault.
So you wish to be someone who is a protector?
A guardian, that's what I live for. It's my oath. Which is what I was hoping to talk about in the future.
Make a persuasion check.
24.
And Da, what do you hope to gain out of obtaining spirit metal in its forging?
I hope to gain an ally in the spirits. Not something that I would control, but something that would work in unison with my own actions and my own drive. Something that would be beneficial to both sides. And something that would help our end goals, which would be in line of restoring this balance, restoring the natural order, the spirits, the natural land, and be strong enough to defend it.
So you wish to use it also as a guardian, but a guardian of nature and the natural balance itself.
Yes.
Interesting. Make a persuasion check.
11.
Okay. And Vela, what do you hope to gain from spirit metal? Why do you seek this?
To be completely honest, I haven't really been seeking it myself. I've just kind of been following the group. I don't know if I understand my aether well enough to make a decision like that. But obviously, yes, I'd rather help than harm. I want to stay with this group if I can.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh, shit. 18.
Okay. And Lucky.
I have no intentions of forging a weapon with that here. I mean, I can't really use weapons as it is. But sometimes it's best to be the person who talks quietly but carries the biggest stick. Especially if you're wanting to make change.
Roll a persuasion check.
19.
Okay. Well, I think you're all nice people in your own ways. I thank you for your candor and you being so willing to answer my questions. I am not your king, and yet you treat me with reverence. And I do notice and appreciate it. So thank you. Well, he takes his napkin and just kind of dabs his lips. If you would all like to meet Magnus, I have him ready and waiting.
I've journeyed far for this moment.
He goes in, pulls out his chair, and sits up. And you see him finally grasp the scepter. And as he does, that like this the gunmetal look to it just peels away, and you see it has this golden coloration to it, and the stone in the center of it was like this like blue hue, and now it's this like bright red, and it kind of like has this like shimmering effect to it. I believe it's time to beat our Forge Master. You see him go ahead and just start to walk with this scepter with him. Interesting fact here, there is no guards.
Well, this guy's really powerful.
He probably doesn't
He
need
could
to
probably
pay.
defend himself.
The only people that
He's
are
got the
here that
force.
would be on his side are the other three NPCs who've been traveling with: Amanda, Kella, his son, and Shamison.
Speaking of which, has anyone like noticed that there's two people not with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because we were carrying two dead bodies of hands.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Did we didn't do anything with the hands yet, right? Who's got those?
You do.
Amanda does, or I do?
Well, technically Amanda would.
Yeah, because I had gentle repose.
Yeah,
on
you
them,
would
but-
just do those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when we came in, he was like, "I'm glad you guys all made it safely."
Mhm.
I was gonna say like, not all of us made it
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, let me give you a hand.
Yeah.
Did we though?
Did we? I mean, most of us.
He seems as though he hasn't addressed it. But you did notice that when he first got there, Kella and Amanda went to go see the king. So most likely they explained it.
Okay.
It's probably better for them to explain it.
You're probably getting restored right now as we speak.
Oh, it'd be so good to see
alive.
see you again.
But they'll just be like those thumb creatures on Spy Kids.
The Thumb Thumbs?
Yeah.
It just casts enlarge on their
My
heads.
brother was terrified of those as a
Those are
kid.
kind of creepy.
Like he would just like look at them and like kind of like nestle into my mom and just go, "Those aren't real, right?"
Yes, they are, and they live under your bed.
No, they're based on the other guys.
Look at your hands really quick and say that again.
Thumbs aren't real. They won't hurt you. Meanwhile, thumbs.
I am 16. I am real.
That's the thumb sound. And the pinky is just, "Hello."
So we're going to Agnes.
Two? What?
Agnes?
Agnes?
Yes.
Magnus?
Magnus.
Yes.
He said Agnes earlier, it threw me off.
I did?
Yeah.
I said Angus.
Oh. Who's Agnes? That's the girl from Misfit.
And Sora.
So you guys end up walking over, and you guys walk into this like, into like through these halls into this big double door, and you guys haven't been here before. And you see he goes ahead and opens the doors up, and you just see steam roll in, and walks in, and you just, as he's just kind of walking in with his staff, he goes ahead and goes, "Attendants," and you guys watch behind you and in front of you, two guards have just appeared out of thin air, and it looks like they are like, their hands are on their hilts, like you were being followed, and there was guards at the ready as well, ready to strike should something happen.
We could have taken.
You may leave us now. Understood. And they walk away.
Grab the key.
Regicide.
So, as you guys walk in, you just hear the faint sound of water echoing into this chamber. And as he continues to walk,
Another bath episode.
as he continues to walk in, he goes, "Magnus!" And it kind of echoes into this chamber. Just hear sitting up, and you hear the water splashing and sloshing. You just hear in the distance just like wet footsteps just pattering, pitter-pattering on this stone.
Give me a second.
And he goes, "He's old. He'll take his time." And then a little bit later, you just hear the footsteps once again, and you see a very burly drow, or not drow, Duragar, my bad. You see he has an Howry cloak, kind of, or not cloak, or robe, draped up, and you see it has that kind of like the same like flow to it that most of the outfits here are. But his, you're starting to see that there is bits of like deep red that almost looks like it's like shimmering, like a flow of lava itself. It's really interesting that like his pattern is different from everybody else's. And you look at him, and you see the stark white hair that is just pulled back into this large braid, and he has this large beard that starts out scruffy and then goes into this braid as well, and 2 additional braids that continue off as well. You see that there is these large black lines that crest up on his face that go right up to here, right below his eyes, and kind of go off to the side a little. And you see his neck, more of those like big, thick black lines, almost as like somebody just took like a really big like industrial Sharpie just across it. You see them just crest down further down the Howry, where it's hidden. And you see on his arms, there's still those same like stripe-like patterns, but this time you're starting to see there's a bit of like, almost like flow to it, like a little more like pattern to it, like where his arms are. He just walks up.
These the new people?
Yes, they are the newcomers, and they have requested your work, Magnus. You see, he walks up to you guys individually and kind of squints his eyes. And even though he looks old, you do see the crow's feet kind of in the corners of his eyes. You see the sagging and sallow of his face a little bit. There's like these wrinkles across his forehead. He looks up to each one of you. You're starting to see like little liver spots occasionally just in his skin.
We don't see many of your kind here.
Get that a lot?
We can work with you.
Kind of walks up to each of you.
You,
Yes.
what are you?
I am Loxodon.
You're strange, I like you.
Thank you.
Walks up to Vela.
Oh.
I've met many of your kind. The
Really?
witches and the hexborn
Oh,
were
yeah.
prevalent in my old time. Don't lay any hexes on me, I'll make sure of that.
Walks over to Lucky.
And you, what are
Yeah.
you?
Well, and I study his face for a second, and then we'll change into him and just be like, I'm you.
You are witchcraft. You just like her, aren't you? I don't like them very much. I don't take too kindly to witches.
I'm just a changeling.
Changeling. What kind of thing is that?
Well, I can do. I can change what I look like, and I'll switch to Donna.
To who?
Donovan.
Now you're human. You got an interesting power.
Crazy, huh? Practicing it myself.
I don't think that's likely.
Oh.
He goes ahead and just you see he walks up to you and just starts looking at you. You see his eyes just kind of like peer a little deeper towards you, Lucky.
They're marked, aren't you?
Yeah, I switched back to my normal form. Yeah, I've got the branding.
We can work with that.
He starts to just kind of like walk, and he has like a strong gait, but like a little bit of like a hobble with it, like just like a little limp. He goes,
Well, I think I could forge for you tomorrow. Keep in mind what you want to make. If you don't know yet, come to me with answers, with questions, and I'll supply both. Pleasure meeting all y'alls. And do not disrespect me or my forge. Maybe the king, but never my forge.
he goes, that's all right. Thank you, Magnus. You do so much for us.
I know.
He starts to just like kind of do that hobble walk out.
Talk to y'all tomorrow, eh? Good meeting ya.
It was a pleasure.
He starts to just kind of walk out.
Things are weird.
Well, that was Magnus Torkel.
So he wanted to talk to us all tomorrow,
He's
or he wanted us to
legendary.
ask questions tomorrow?
Both.
Okay.
Just kind of wanted to meet you first, get a read on you all, and then meet with you tomorrow to discuss more of the Forge plan.
It's like I have questions right now.
I have so many.
Well, okay. And I believe at this point in the day, it is late at night still. So if you guys would like to go ahead and go to sleep to your chambers and kind of decompress finally, now that you're like finally here in a nice bed, or if you want to do any more character things, it's up to you.
I'll put it Bella. Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
What's up?
Well, you know, I don't like you, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
according to what you said earlier, you said you wanted to stay a part of the party.
Yeah,
Do you mean that?
yeah. Of course.
Why do you want to stay with us?
Why not? I think we
Well-
all make a pretty good fit.
According to the way you've been acting recently, you've been showing that you're just a threat to us. I can keep myself contained, but you seem to think you can't keep yourself contained. As you know, I put Lucky above everything in life. And if you put him in danger, that's why I don't like you.
I don't plan on trying. That's why I like taking the watches and stuff. I don't want to put anyone in danger.
But you might.
I might.
So
I might.
I just wanted, I'm talking to you right now because I dislike you. But you are a party member to me. Okay? I've healed you before.
Yeah.
I fought by your side.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just whenever we
I
sleep,
mean,
stay away from Lucky.
okay. I am trying to get this under control. I really am.
Well, if you ever need help, I will. Because you're a party member.
I do need help. I don't.
With what?
I don't know. There are lots of things happening right now that are completely out of my control.
Well, I've helped Daw before with his spirit. How are you doing with yours? You said you don't really know much about it.
I don't know anything about it. I know that like it's water and light, but I don't know how to wield it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really confusing stuff.
What yeah,
I've tried
and I don't know
using
if it's safe.
I've tried using my elements and they look nothing like what I was told they would.
Yeah, don't. I just, if it ever seems like I am out of control, can I trust you to make sure that you do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm not a threat anymore?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I've played it over many times in my mind. Not against you, of course, because I know that you're a kind person, but kind or not,
Thank you.
there's a monster in all of us. It's not your fault, but you're still a threat.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, that's it. No, just letting you know that you are a party member, so if you ever need help, you can come to me. Just if you attack anyone, just like you said, I will put you down.
Yes, that is expected and appreciated.
Okay. Nice talking.
Have a good night.
A what?
I said have a good night.
You too. I'm gonna go look.
Okay. You end up, Lucky, as you're kind of getting ready for bed, you just hear a soft knock at your door.
Saunter on over the door. Yeah, who is it now? Open it up.
Oh, hey, Lucky, just checking in on you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Cal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Well, I just came in to check. Make sure to keep your door locked. You know, we may be in a safe area, but that doesn't mean it's not super safe. Okay.
Cal, these are things that I told you back in the day.
Well, I'm becoming quite responsible myself. I'm a man. Well, I'm a good person. I'm strong.
That you are, buddy.
Yep.
That you are.
Keep in check, though. Don't want you getting hurt, because every time we've gone across a bridge, you've fallen. You need to practice how to walk across bridges.
Hey, I'm just blind in the dark.
You're just pulled into water, is the problem.
You know, apparently the water it likes me too much, and I just don't like it. It's really clingy.
Surprised it's not your element with how much it comes in your life.
Yeah.
Well, we'll learn more about it some other time. You have any ideas about tomorrow?
Not really.
Yeah, it's confusing stuff.
Yeah, a lot. A lot. That's just the best way to say it.
Well, according to our tour guides, we got, you don't really need to do, you can really do anything, you know. I'm already set on my idea, but I know you're not too fond of weapons. There's many things you could do. I'm literally stitching it onto my body. That's how many things you could do.
That is true. Yeah, I can't. It just doesn't make sense how to use a weapon correctly. Like, you know, last time I tried to swing your axe and I hit everything with the side, it would just. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's not the damaging part. You
No,
did get
but,
knocking out those guards though with the side of the axe. So.
It's, you know, it's the big side. It feels like it should do the most, like, do the damage, but.
Oh, the hostages were so annoying too. Wonder how they are now.
They're probably fine.
Well, what helped me with my idea is I just wanted to be who I am. I am an oath keeper. I'm a paladin. I protect you. Right? I always will.
Right. And I will, like, put a hand on your shoulder, which is still so high. And you know, I always have your back as well.
And as much as I hate to admit it, I don't know much about you, so I can't really help in this. All I do know about you is you're very resistant. You have this layer around you that's very strong.
Yeah, I think I'm just pretty knuckleheaded, so.
All of our friendly battles, I've never been able to pierce your skin, but you've pierced mine with your fist. You're pretty strong.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to check in. Didn't want you to be stressing out too much. If you need me in the room over, right? Okay.
Sounds good.
I might go to my room.
Alright. Anybody want to do anything else? Alright. You guys are reserved to your chambers. Finally get a good night's rest. The lanterns themselves, they have this little knob that you figured out that you just turn it and it just dims the crystal completely to nothing. You finally sleep in a good bed.
Is it better than the nun's bed?
Way
That's
better.
a nice bed.
Nice.
Is it better than the zombies' the bed?
It's on par with it, if not a little nicer. Or the Lord Zeriok's beds were very kind of, they had a slight musty smell to them. These ones almost smell perfumed. They smell just very like clean and fresh, crisp.
One thing I wanted to ask while we're here is, this place is obviously like favored by the spirits, right?
Yes.
So is that kind of visible? Because every time we've been around our aether, we can feel it. So can we feel that here?
Roll a d20.
Okay. I'm just like sit across applesauce and then 18.
18. You feel presence here. A bit of like this essence, something that is like filling you with vigor and calmness. You do sense that there is something here. You're not sure what. It doesn't have shape or form or a sharpness to it that you can analyze.
There's no element to it.
Doesn't seem like it. It seems as though it's just something that is inherently just around you.
How does it feel?
Warm.
It doesn't feel stuck. It feels free.
Very. Feels warm and comforting. Something calming.
Well, then I'm that too.
Alright. You go to bed?
Go to bed.
Alright.
Question: Did Amanda ever say where they found that shard?
Yes.
The king said they found it by the explosion,
In Hillcrest.
Okay, so it wasn't. Okay.
Yes. The remnants of Hillcrest.
which
Seems-
means that there might be a bigger piece that someone else has too.
It seems as though that Hillcrest itself was not fully teleported away. That there are bits that were teleported away, but there was a large majority that was just sundered.
The rest is in the abyss somewhere.
Alright. You good?
Good.
Alright. Let's go ahead and level up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're OP now.
Welcome to level 6.
I don't even need Aether now.
Next time we go on a walk that's 10 minutes away, it'll be 5 minutes.
Ayo.
Come on, Tanner.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have a pencil, Jim?
I get more expertise. Yeah.
Thank you.
Rogue gets rogue stuff.
Rogue gets rogue stuff.
She
What
needs
should
it.
I
She
be an
hasn't been
expert
doing
in?
too many rogue things. So. I rolled a 5.
Mm. Hey, still, that's 5 HP. So let's start with HP. Dog, go ahead and roll for your HP, which I believe it's a D8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure is.
And add your Constitution to that.
3.
3. Plus.
Like 600. I think.
That's, yeah.
I'm on the wrong screen.
Yes.
'Cause this already has it all calculated in.
Mm-hmm.
But get out of here.
But you rolled that. Vela, let's go ahead and roll yours. What is yours? A D6?
D8.
D8. All right, let's roll.
I roll so bad on her health. 3.
3. Okay. Hey, still nothing. Or it's still something.
Still nothing.
It's
Just
still
about.
Lucky. What you got on that D12?
Yep, I got a 10 on a D12.
Nice.
Nice.
That is good. All right, and then anybody taking any multi-classing?
Tempting.
Good
No.
to know. Good to know. Awesome.
Not this level.
That's up to you.
And then for the viewers, we'll have or not Abby, my bad, Allison and Tara roll for Susie and Rose some other time for their level up. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and go to break while everybody levels up and finishes their level up process, and we'll come back and jump right back into this. So, see you in a second. Shenanigans, welcome back. So, we handled some level ups.
Yeah.
And then you took an extra level in Paladin, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Extra level in
Druid?
Nice.
Yeah.
Villa?
Rogue.
Lucky.
Very.
Nice.
Kept it pure.
Yes.
We're pure of heart.
For now.
We don't multi-class yet.
Well, I don't know about the other two yet, but
But still pretty good.
However, as you guys wake, Lucky, how do you manifest your new totem?
I'm starting to have the antlers grow.
I love it.
So I got two little ones.
I love Lucky so much. He's just got 2 antlers and a dragon tongue.
Well, and like sharp bare teeth, bare eyes, a super long tongue, and antlers. And he's completely white.
The huge, like
He
hair like
doesn't look like
character like
an Oni at all.
No, not at all.
No, definitely not a demon.
You're a demon.
Looks so calm.
So,
Do you look any different now, though?
Yeah, my tusks are a little bit longer.
nice.
You look more infesty.
So,
Can't see the spores, but it's there.
as you guys are now exiting your rooms, there are knocks on all of your doors before you, right as you're kind of like resting, like rustling and kind of waking up a little bit. There's a knock at each of your doors of Arcturus.
Breakfast will be ready soon and shortly. Please do make your way to the dining hall. The king has requested your attendance.
Okay.
Hello, this is Arcturus, and
Just continues to go to each door.
We hear it every time.
Yes.
Oh, when's it gonna be me?
We never. How am I gonna know what time to go to breakfast?
hello, this is Arcturus. There is breakfast ready
I
shortly.
know. I heard you the first time.
That was on your neighbor's
I love
door.
how thin
2
the
doors
walls
down.
Oh,
Like, it's just canonically
I'm
And
gonna
then
get up.
super thin walls.
as he's like about to knock on your door, you open up the door.
Oh, hello, Cal.
Breakfast is ready, right?
Yes, and the king has requested your attendance.
Sweet. Okay.
Lucky.
Did he say that for all the other ones?
Lucky.
Hello, Lucky. This is Arcturus speaking.
And just this is and at this point you're looking at the mirror like kind of touching the horns, and he just keeps knocking on everyone's door.
How did these get here? I feel like I walk faster though.
Gotta go fast.
How is that like?
Gotta go fast. Whoa, chili dog.
Oh, chili dog!
It's like hitting puberty.
Yeah.
Nubs come out.
Sun's out, nubs out. All right. So, you guys end up going to a nice breakfast, and you do see that you guys are not the only ones sitting here. You see 3 other drow, older than, in between age of the king and Kella and Amanda. Whereas, like, the king would be, like, in terms of, like, human years, he'd be in, like, his 50s, 60s. Kella is, like, in his, like, early 20s, and same with Amanda. These drow look like they're probably in their late 20s, early 30s. And they're also sitting at the table, already eating, as you guys walk in. And you just end up hearing, "Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. And you look over and you see it is a woman drow. Um, she looks her hair is like kind of like in this like kind of short bob almost that's just like messy. Um, she's just kind of like, oh, hello. Looks like she's got like a little bit of like food on her cheeks. Um, and you see Kella, Amanda also sitting there, as well as Kalor, the one that you met before. Um, and then you see there is another new drow sitting at the table as well, at the chair adjacent to the king. And you guys end up walking out and kind of choosing where you want to sit. And you see the drow that kind of beckoned you forward. She kind of pulls out her chair and stands up and gives you a little nod bow. Hi, my name is Dun Araleth. I am the sixth child of well, King Calibandrus. Pleasure to meet you guys. We don't really get a lot of visitors out here, so kind of new. Yeah, welcome. I'm gonna eat my food now. And she sits down and just starts like eating some more of her food.
I like her.
And then you just hear Kalor. Hello, everyone. I'm Kalor. You've met me before. Please don't try to get friendly with me. I don't really want to get to know you. You don't really want to get to know me. That's perfectly fine. Have fun. And he just continues to eat.
I've got a question. And I sit down next to him.
What?
So, why don't you want to be friendly with us?
I have no use of you.
Yet. You may.
Well, if I have use of you, then I'll be friendly with you.
But by then it might be too late.
Ah, I have my charms.
This is true. You're very charming.
You know?
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
Here, let me give him a mushroom.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Eat it.
Why?
Because it's good for you.
Says who?
Says me. I made it.
And an attendant kind of walks out. Eat this. Sir, eat it. Understood. Not really my flavor, but it's edible.
See?
How many more of those can you produce?
I give him just a few more.
Put these in an omelet. Understood. Kind of walks off.
Wow, you are privileged.
Drow privilege.
And you see the king. Good morning. It is a pleasure to have you all once again in my presence. So thank you for that. I appreciate your attendance. And the other drow is kind of still resigned, not really speaking out. And then you see Amanda and Kella sitting there. Kella, excuse me. Kella just goes, "Hey guys, morning." And you see he's got like messy bed head. He hasn't really like gotten ready yet. It looks like he like just woke up and ran in here. Meanwhile, Amanda is like still like very like well dressed and looks like she's been up for a while. Please sit. We have the attendants preparing you breakfast already. So, how did you all sleep?
I slept heavenly. I feel better than when I went to sleep before.
Oh, that is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. My skin's light.
Yeah, really.
Hey?
Good
Really
job.
interesting light contraptions you have.
Oh yes,
The lamps
that
we can turn
is
down.
that is a device made by Magnus, at the request of me. But it is a improvement on something my father had Magnus create, and I had an idea spark in my head of something new to make, and well, we came up with that.
Well, that was perfect because I'm scared of the dark, so I was able to keep it a little dim.
Oh, well, I'm happy we can accommodate for you. And and as the attendants end up coming back, they put down little trays for you and lift it, and it's a really good breakfast. It looks like a country style breakfast, like what looks like the equivalent of like a chicken fried steak, some gravy, just like these like different types of like potatoes, and a little bit of like seasoning on top of it as well. It's a really nice hearty breakfast. And then there are some cracked eggs as well, scrambled.
There's no mushrooms in there.
Lucky.
No, there's no mushrooms.
Okay, I'll eat it up.
Yeah.
No!
You look over at Lucky and you notice he has little nubs on his forehead.
Oh. Lucky.
Little.
I didn't sleep very well.
You got a headache?
I
Why would
was
you say that?
coughing and turning over, and I couldn't find a comfortable spot to sleep.
Normally he sleeps on his face.
Yeah, he's a stomach sleeper right now.
Yeah.
So
He did, and
No,
when he woke up, he was like,
Yeah.
made it off of it.
Same wavelength.
Did you hit your head hard twice?
No, they wouldn't look like this if it was just hitting my head hard twice.
That's how it looks when I hit my head hard.
Like bone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is this natural? Does all of your kind grow horns
Hey.
like this?
Racist.
I don't know. I've never met anyone else of my kind.
We're all your kind. I've done it. I was born this way.
You were.
And I bet I could take away these horns, but I never want to do that. Because I think they look gorgeous.
Well, yours are coming out strong.
Mm-hmm. I could see they're growing in a beautiful way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope, right? I wouldn't want anything that wonky or out of whack. You know?
And if it were, couldn't you just change it?
You know, that's a really good question. I don't know. I've noticed like
Curious.
at least like my teeth and eyes will change to like if I change to someone else. But whenever I just like go back to being myself, if I could call it that, they always do that. So maybe. I don't
well,
know.
look cool.
Yeah, it makes you look stronger. You look fierce. A little faster.
Your headbutts will do much more damage.
Probably. I'm just, tired, didn't sleep well, so.
Well, better than the couch, right?
Well, maybe. Couch might have been better just because, I couldn't get comfortable with that. Wouldn't have been an issue on the couch.
With this
Could've just, like,
change,
my other.
with this change in your horns, the party now majority has horns.
Yes.
I love this. That's great.
Yeah.
You already have more horns than the tiefling, so
Yeah, then Augustus.
you have two. The only person that doesn't have them are Susie and
Rose.
Rose.
True.
We're the no.
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 That was so.
I know exactly what you're saying.
New band name.
You guys are very horny.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Jonah.
We're the Nub Lords.
Yep, you're all horned up.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
The Horn Dogs.
Yes.
DAWG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog.
Of course.
So we eat our breakfast.
You guys all got
Lovely breakfast.
pretty big corn. Yeah.
Corn?
It's corn. That dated this episode. So.
Because that's an outdated meme at this point of recording.
It just tells you how behind Jonah is on the memes.
Always.
That's because he doesn't have TikTok, so he sees things on Instagram Reels 58 weeks later.
Yep.
It's all making fun of.
Including the trend making fun of Instagram Reels. It hasn't gotten to you yet.
I was talking about.
Yeah. Honey.
So, you guys are now eating a very nice breakfast. Anything you guys would like to discuss?
Where's the king
At the head of the table.
at? Is that close to us?
One of the sides is where Kalor is sitting. There's another one who has introduced themselves, and then next to Kalor is Dun Araleth, and then Kella and Amanda are sitting next to her as well.
Well, I'll sit next to Amanda.
Okay.
I'll be like, you know,
You sit next to her.
okay, sit next to her. How you doing, Amanda?
Doing better now that we're home.
Oh, that thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes.
I tried something while we were fighting the Tarrasque, and I wasn't thinking necessarily which element to use, and I used something that wasn't either of my elements.
What did you produce?
I don't know, it didn't fit any of the descriptions of any elements you've told me about so far.
Well, if you're a specialty type, it's quite possibly created a new element.
Do you know what that means? Do you have anybody I could talk to about it? Or
Magnus would be the only one that would mainly have that kind of an idea. He has created his own form of Aether as well. The Way of the Forge. Being able to imbue the Forge itself into him. It's a very interesting technique that he does. I'll let you see for yourself. But it seems as though you've made your own version of Aether. What your own perception of the manifestation is.
well, I felt the thing I did to Da, it was very similar to what the king did to the sword.
Interesting. Well, then it appears you're using raw Aether, which is a skill that you'll grow to know more, and that's how you're able to use the Eye of Aether as well as many other abilities.
Because it seemed like I was able to increase his affinity for a second there.
It's quite possible.
That's it. I didn't know if you had any thing to add on that. Or...
Not that I'm familiar with.
Okay. Thank you. Go back to Lucky.
Okay.
Hey, Lucky, my man.
Oh, Cal, I haven't had coffee yet. You're too loud.
Oh, my man. You want some coffee? Where's some coffee?
A couple minutes later, you just hear like a cart on wheels, and you just hear coffee, coffee, coffee. Anybody want some coffee? And you see Seamus in with the coffee cart, with already some pre-made coffee. And he goes, "Hello, King. Hello, siblings of the King. Here." And kind of like presents coffee, and he goes, "Only for the people that are actually nice to me. So, none of you. Kel and Amanda, nice to see you again. And the rest of the soul survivors. Here."
Yeah. That's us.
Cool name. That's us.
Goes ahead and gets you guys a little, there's like little goblets he has that he just starts to fill up with coffee, gives each of you one. And then you just hear Dun Aralef go, "Aren't I always nice to you?" "Yes, you are, sweetheart. Let me get you one too." Goes down and pours her one. And you see as she starts to drink it, she just kind of side eyes Kalor and just goes, as she just continues to drink it.
She's the one you gotta watch.
Why do you have to be nice to people?
So I will ask the king. When you inspected that dagger,
Yes.
the broken dagger, I was meditating on it last night, and I remembered that it was given to us by the one who was a dragon of the East Knight. There was 12 of them. Does that?
I am familiar with the legends of old. They were spoken of as Icelandian warriors. They were basically the 12 closest officials to the previous king of Icelandia. They were ancient swordsmen who had mastered the craft and relationship between spirit metal, aether spirits, and their own personal aether. They were remarkable warriors.
Could this blade be one of their own that
I-
they wielded?
I doubt it was one of the true blades. The true blades themselves are said to be undamaged, unchanging, weapons that cannot be melded down to another. They are such a perfected state.
Let's see.
So I doubt that this specific spirit metal is one of those blades, but
You
it was.
did have a bigger one.
It's quite possible these ones were forged during that time.
Quite old then.
Indeed, over 500 years old. Probably closer to 700. An ancient relic of the past.
Thank you for that information.
Yes, of course.
I keep eating.
Your trunk.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't move from the king. Your trunk's just eating.
You're eating the king's food. You're on the other end of the table and it's just going. You have the lucky tongue effect on your trunk now.
Yeah.
How much bigger is your tusks?
Probably, I don't know, 6 inches bigger.
I mean, that's average. So,
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Cool.
All right. So, Abby did not like that joke.
Miss Tara and Allison.
I love it. This episode brought to you by men.
Nope.
So, as you guys are now kind of just continuing to eat of this breakfast, you're in this gorgeous chamber. Discussions themselves seem to be spoken of like in whispers, but you can still hear just like this weird muffling effect. If somebody's in a whisper state, only those around can still hear it. It's a very interesting place in here. Anything else any of you guys want to do?
You guys ready for Magnus?
Yeah. Let's go talk to that buff guy
Does
again.
everybody have their plans for the medal?
Do you?
No.
I do.
Same.
All right. As you guys are getting ready, you see Kalor is the first to get up. Like as you guys are finishing breakfast, he's the first to get up. Just kind of nods his head as he walks out.
It was great having a conversation with you.
Yeah. And then you see Dun Araleth stand up. It was great meeting you all. I gotta go do some stuff, but hopefully I see you around the castle. Great meeting you all. He gets up and starts to walk off.
Have we met that first son yet?
No.
The second son?
Yep. And you notice whenever they say the first or the second or whatever the number is, that's the number in lineage of children. They might be like the third actual son, but like in Keller's case, he is the
Like the seventh.
fifth. He's the seventh child, but he's the fifth son. So he just refers to himself
He's-
as the seventh son.
Okay.
So, as they're all kind of eating dinner, Killa, kind of like, or not dinner, breakfast.
Been here a long time.
Kella just like, all right, I'm gonna be training. If you need me, call any of the attendants. They'll know where I am. Gets up and walks off. The man just goes, well, time to sleep somewhere. Gets up and walks off. And then the unnamed drow scoots the chair back, and you do see now it is it's a woman. She looks definitely older than all the other drows in attendance here, other than the king. She still looks younger than the king, but older than all the other drow. For her, she has this very, very tight braid that just kind of crests over one shoulder and kind of like goes to about like right here. And you do see it's like adorned with like different types of jewelry intermingled with the braid. She looks like, in terms of like human years, probably like in her late 30s maybe. She looks very proud and very just stoic. But kind of like Ice Queen almost, just like very just like cold demeanor, but very regal. And she pulls out her chair and stands up, still shoulders arched back, chest out. Thank you for dinner. And sits up and starts to walk off. Thank you. So, I believe it's time for you all to meet with Magnus. Is that correct? Are you all ready?
I hope.
I am ready.
Good. This is a preliminary. This is basically for him to just check to see if you are all capable of his skills. Well then, let me lead you to him. And he kind of scoots his chair back, and he didn't notice it, but as he like raises his fingers, you watch. Next to him is now the staff, the scepter. Let just be on our way. And he starts to walk, and this time it's just kind of like rotating, floating next to him. And he just continues to walk down at this large hallway, and kind of like down this big spiral staircase until you get to this underground chamber, and it's nice and cool down here. And in here you do see there's at the one end there is like all the lanterns kind of lining this chamber. It almost looks like a catacomb-like chamber that just leads off to other routes. But in this one center chamber, on either side of the pillars and these other routes that continue on, there's the lanterns with the crystal in them that are like able to dim. And at one end, you do see that there is a writing desk, and you see Magnus is hunched over, writing with ink and quill at it. And here's your footsteps as you guys enter in. Kind of just. Are you all ready now?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye. Yes,
Yes.
we are ready.
Ready.
Yeah.
You're muted, Abby.
I didn't say any.
Oh. Okay.
Alright. As you guys are now entering into this chamber, he goes, follow me. Pulls out his chair and just kind of like shoves it and slams it in to the desk, folds the ledger over and takes it and puts it into his howry. Starts to walk. And the footsteps in here are echoing in here. It's this kind of dark and eerie place. And as he's continuing to walk, you do see embedded into the walls themselves, on like different like hooks and pedestals, are what look like spirit metal creations. Most of them weaponry, and it's just a bunch of them. all just like on these little hook stands protruding out from the wall just slightly. Each of them have a placard next to it and a little lantern light next to it as well. And it goes on across this hallway, almost like art pieces. As he enters into a room, there's a large round table made of this like stone-like material, and there's chairs all around it. He goes ahead and sits in one of them, and as he sits into it, and it looks like there's 10 seats here. So he sits in one of them, and as he sits in it, you watch the throne that he sits upon is also made of that stone-like material, and you watch as it starts to. There's these grooves in there that glow, and as they glow, there's this like white light, like whitish orange light that just starts like through the chair, and it's got this really high back with this core, this circle with a smaller circle in the center of it, and everything but that very small circle in the center starts to glow that same color, and it sprouts off like a network of energy as he sits upon this throne.
Sit.
I sit.
As you sit, your colors are split between a
Do
color.
I notice, or?
You would notice.
Cool.
You look over to your left and you see that there's this beautiful color of this pure, divine, bright white light, and on your right there's this deep, sallow darkness. No,
Oh, it's not. Okay.
And there's this deep,
Different.
sallow darkness that's just creeping in. It's an interesting change from what you're normally used to. For you, you see this like earthy but green, kind of like foresty, like tone to it. It's warm, comforting. For Vela, you watch this like astral like space speckled throughout on these paths, and at the very center of it, it almost has this reflective surface where that circle is, almost like a moon-like shape. And then for Lucky, as you sit into this one, it's interesting. The chair itself has this like this wispy like look to the pathways, but at the core, you see a bit of red tinge to it. With Susie, you see the chair itself, kind of out from that center core is this blackened flame that is just like very lightly protruding from it. And you see just like red and black intermingling with each other throughout all of this pathways. For Rose, you see this chaotic energy coursing through it. This darkened black energy that just seems to course throughout. As he sits,
So tell me, what are you questioning about my work?
Well, I think we all would like to see or to know how you do it. Not know the details, of course. We couldn't learn that. But we all want something maybe.
My craft is very personal. It's something that I do with the person I'm crafting with. I do not craft to just craft. Every piece has an intention with the wielder. And it is a personal and very deeply emotional and vulnerable creation process. Only for the Forge Master and who it's for. So, I can craft you whatever you need. That is the way of the Forge Master. But my techniques, you'll discover them after. What else do you have to ask?
Have you ever crafted the spirit metal into a person or into bone?
I have imbued many of these spirit metal into a lot of aspects of people themselves. Me.
And you see he stands up from the chair, and as he stands up, you watch that glow fade away. And he kind of stands to the side of it, and you see he goes ahead and removes the Howry and kind of like has it drift off of his shoulders until it's just connected at the waist. And you watch on his body, all throughout, is these deep, dark black tattoos all throughout. On his left arm, you see there's this sleeve of what looks like branches and blossoms, all with that black material. And then on his right arm, you see these like deep, like big flame, like patterns, almost like wispy flames. And he turns to his back to you, and you see on the back is this beautiful cherry blossom that kind of arcs out from right above his butt almost. That kind of like arcs with the roots protruding there and has this arcing circle. And at the very center in it is this symbol. And the symbol itself, it looks like two crescent moons next to each other. And at the very center is this big sun. And you see there's the cherry blossoms kind of arcing off of that, and then you see the flames of the one side kind of arcing into the sun, whereas the cherry blossoms kind of sprouting off of the moon, off to the left.
I have imbued spirit metal into my body. Every marking you see is this metal. I have turned it into an ink and tattooed it into myself. I in my channel.
That's intriguing. That's really beautiful work.
Most of it done by me. The others, my previous master. So yes, it can be imbued into one personally.
Goes ahead and pulls up the sleeves over his shoulders again.
Does it matter which element you use?
How do you mean?
He sits back down in the chair, comes to life again.
Well, from your tattoo, it looked like it was kind of earthy and kind of flamey. Would it matter for when we're making our thing if we choose one element for it?
Choosing one element is never a bad thing. Showing off all of your capability can be a weapon against you. If you hold one element in reserve, but still hone it to a sharp blade, and have the other be your main power, that one hidden blade can become your greatest weapon should it be needed. All spirit metal can channel. Good example is Amanda's blades. They also have a spirit imbued into them. That's how they get their form. But those spirits are affected by her elements, which allow them to gain similar power as hers. She does not generally use them at the full potential, but she can. Good example for all of you.
Another thing, Amanda told me, I asked her about something and she said that you would be able to help me because you've gone through something similar, I guess. I've come across something that isn't of the normal elements.
What have you made?
I don't really have a color in mind, but I've mixed my affinities together, and they're kind of molded together into something new.
I know of this power, not of your specific power, but this is a rare, very potent form of ether.
I used it on my friend Daw before, and I was able to increase his potency.
That was more of a transfer of elemental power than it was anything else. You transferred your raw ether energy into him. That is something I can do. But what you speak of, this new element,
mixed with light and dark.
That is something you could do.
So would I be able to do that with the spirit mode?
Yes. It channels your essence. Whatever you pour into it, it will learn and imbue itself with that.
Because I wanted to do what you did to your skin, but to my antlers.
Well, that'll be much easier than this. This was very painful.
Sweet.
Anybody else? Good. Well, it is about that time then, eh? Who wishes to be the first to forge?
Do you want to go, or do you want me to go, or do you guys want to go?
I can roll for it.
Do you want to roll for it? High or low?
Low. I'll roll.
Oh, you'll roll. Okay.
9.
Ella is not eager to go, so you guys, by all means, please go.
So you get to choose. You or Eli.
Let's have Eli go
Oh,
first.
okay. I'll go first.
All right.
You want to go, Lucky?
Just in case it goes wrong.
No, I'm good waiting for a little bit. I still gotta figure out what I'm wanting.
Okay.
I'm gonna say,
While they figure this out, please help yourselves to whatever you need in these chambers. Off to the right over there is my pantry. Over to the left is where I have my beer. Try not to drink at all, eh? Come with me, Cal.
He sits up in the chair, fades again. He walks over down this hall down the center. Just with his little hobble.
I'm back to normal, right?
What do you mean?
I'm back to just all light.
You're still your normal color. And you continue to walk behind him. Only you. He walks to this very large sigil. Extremely large, in fact. Very intricate room working into it. And as he walks into the center of it, you see he goes ahead and clasps his hands together, and as he does, you feel this pulse around you. And you watch as he separates his hands, there's this orb of this fiery light that's just emanating super brightly, and you watch the red and the orange start to appear on his tattoos. And on the other side, you see this like deep, like brown and pink blossoms starting to flourish. And you just see the images on his cheeks and his like right below his eyes. Those start to glow this bright light. And that center, that little circle in the center of it, he contains it and presses it into the sigil. And you watch the sigil flare to life with green energy as you see it with power circling you as you vanish. And you appear in the burst of color on this same size sigil. And this time, you're no longer in the catacombs. You feel a very deep, deep heat once again. And you look up and you see bright red and orange in the distance. And an extremely large staircase ascending. Let us go. Starts to ascend onto this staircase. And as you ascend, you start to see now this like cliff that you were walking up, these lava falls just flowing down.
This is my secret forge, simply known as the Flames of Khan. Eternally flames, eternally burning, eternally warm.
He just continues to walk up the stairs behind. And you see, sitting at this precipice is a very large circle, and a lot of these large implements across it. At the very center of it, you see that there is a flow of lava that is on this bridge that descends down into a point, and you watch that point is right above a forge. A very large anvil. As he walks over to it, you see it has these intricate rune markings all over it in sigils. He goes ahead and takes an ingot, and you see that there's a large amount of these ingots here. He takes a fresh one, just puts it right on the anvil.
I'm really glad we got rid of that problem before he came.
These are not the ones that you had. These are
Yeah.
purified ones. Goes ahead and takes it off and just puts it on the anvil.
I will warn you, every time I've had a test on Aether so far, something bad has happened. So
And you see he goes ahead and charges up that same energy into his palms. And this time he presses it into the forge, and you watch as the sigils and those runes flare to life, and you feel this rush of energy blast out from the center of this forge and from him. You kind of have to take a couple steps back, and you watch the forge itself come to life and just... You watch light above you start to trail on this river, this bridge, and you watch magma just start to flow down until it just a little drip right onto the spirit metal. And you, as it hits that spirit metal, you watch as it almost melts and kind of like goes into this like weird like mercurial metal. Just that one drip hit it, and as it hit, there's this energy wave that hits you as well. You see he goes ahead and grabs a hammer, and as he holds it, you watch as it starts to glow with that same energy he produces.
I believe it's time I got inspiration from you, eh?
And that's what we're going to pick up next session.
Ooh. Nice.
nice.
You guys made it!
We made it.
You made it!
We did it!
We did it!
Yeah.
We did it! We did it! Yeah! Oh, we did it!
Yeah.
Do. Thank you guys so much for watching our chaos, and we got RP and some lore. Oh, I love this. This is gonna be fun, and it gives you guys an extra week to figure out what you want to do.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll go ahead and catch you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.